Hello everybody and welcome back where it's currently midnight and I'm here because I can't go to sleep because of a certain announcement from Summer Games Fest last night. Now I just got off the stream. Thank you to everyone who joined. Thank you. This is the reason that I do this content gig, for moments like that where everyone's together in a live stream. It was amazing, bouncing back and forth with you guys in the comments and just enjoying a game show together. And when a certain reveal came, we all freaked out and it was a moment I will never forget. So thank you for that. Let's pour one out for our boy Turquoise in the chat. If you were there last night, you'll know he was waiting all the way through the show for a Resident Evil 9 reveal, and he thought it didn't happen. When they said it's not coming today, but it's coming soon, he left and went to bed, and I just hope that he's woken up this morning and been pleasantly surprised, because when the reveal came at the end, it was amazing. So we'll talk about that in a sec, but there are a couple other things we want to kind of mention here in terms of PSVR2 and VR in general. So the first two things before we get onto Resi 9 are, of course, saying thank you to our patrons and members, who there are a lot more of. Thanks to Andrew Ehrenreich, who gifted a load of memberships last night. And also, subbing to the channel, because only 25% you are. Okay, that being said, let's talk our first game, Deadpool VR. This is exclusive to Quest and is coming out later on in 2025. I don't think we'll see this one come to PSVR2, but it's exciting for the VR space to get a actual Deadpool VR game. The crowd also cheered for it, which is great to see. Not something that we usually see with VR games, especially ones with IPs that are licensed that haven't had a game in a while. We haven't had a Deadpool game in ages, and this one popped up and everyone seems to be happy with it. It's Neil Patrick Harris as Deadpool, which is an interesting choice in my opinion. He doesn't quite fit in there, just like Nolan North did in my opinion, or of course Ryan Reynolds. I'll get used to him, he'll end up killing it I think. And the gameplay here looks really fun, really violent, and hopefully Quest users have a fun time with this one. I might have to jump in and try it out myself. Unfortunately not for PSVR2 though, I don't think. What might be for PSVR2, but we're not quite sure at the moment, because it's not out at the time of recording, is the new Hitman contract. This is against Mads Mikkelsen, Le Chief. From Casino Royale, you can jump into a new map and try and take him out. And I'm really looking forward to seeing if this is VR playable, because apparently some of the contract targets are VR playable, but some of them aren't, so let's hope that this one is. Again, I can't confirm right now, because it's midnight and the game update isn't out yet, but as soon as it is, if it is VR playable, I will jump in and make a video on it, because that is just awesome. It's available until July, I believe, or mid-July. It's not a permanent thing, but if you have Hitman, jump in and go and try and kill Mads Mikkelsen in the game. That's a potential one though, we're not quite sure. And finally, of course, Resident Evil Requiem. This is the one we're going to spend most of this video talking about, because there are lots of details here, from the trailer to information about the game. First and foremost, it doesn't say PSVR2 on here. I'm still hopeful that we will get a PSVR2 mode for this game. It is coming to PS5, of course, as all Resi games do, but there was no PSVR2 logo. I believe this will probably come either in a later update, or they'll clarify what's going on with that. I'm hoping they answer that sooner rather than later, because even if this isn't VR compatible, it does look amazing. I will still be playing it, but I'd love for it to be, and to be honest, it's surely a no-brainer, right? Capcom love doing VR ports. It doesn't look too ambitious in terms of what's being rendered here and what's explorable compared to previous games. It seems kind of similar to Village and to Resi 4 in terms of scope. Of course, the stakes here are much higher and there are some incredible environments, but surely this is all doable in virtual reality. At least I'd hope so. It's the same engine as the last two games as well. It's the RE engine, which some viewers picked up immediately on and pointed out that this is definitely the RE engine. This is Resi 9. We all freaked out when this reveal came, trying to figure out where the story is going. I've got to admit I'm a bit in over my head in terms of some of the references, as I'm a newer Resident Evil fan, but I'm really excited to get into this one and give it a go, hopefully on PSVR2. It's coming out on February 27th, which is just, I think, 4 days after the PSVR2 anniversary. For that year, we'll be coming on 3 years then, which is kind of crazy. And this would be such a blockbuster to have on the headset. I really hope that they go that extra mile and do that. If you're watching Summer Games Fest, especially the live stream with me last night, you'll know that I was incredibly deflated when they came in halfway through and said, Resident Evil 9 is still cooking, but we're not going to show it off today. They were lying. It was shown off later as a one last thing, and that really threw me off. But it was such an awesome reveal to get that thrown at us, and I was really excited to see it there, man. It was honestly such an incredible showing off the game. And in terms of details here, we have some more modern architecture, as opposed to, say, Village, where everything was very medieval. Again, the character models here look fantastic. We're working in the FBI, which is interesting. That's a different organization than Chris's in Resi 8. So we're actually in a more formal position now, investigating a very familiar site for this character. This looks very high stakes and more action oriented as well. And I think we kind of see that in the modern architecture of Raccoon City here as well. Some people have hinted that the game was open world. I don't know if I see that in some of this gameplay yet, to be honest, but we just don't really know. If it is open world, though, that would kind of lean into it maybe not being PSVR2 compatible, as that might be a bit demanding, especially if we're exploring the entirety of the nuked Raccoon City. I'm aware of Resident Evil 3, but I'm not really a massive fan, but I do know what happened to Raccoon City in that game. Capcom officially have just said they've taken technological advancements in this game. Nothing about immersion or anything like that for PSVR 2, but hopefully they support it because it will be the way to play, I think. Overall, I'm incredibly excited for Resident Evil 9, but man, it just looks like an incredible continuation of the series, and hopefully it's VR compatible. Again, that's all for today. This has been less of a PSVR 2 focused news and more VR in general, and a couple of things that excited me in the showcase yesterday. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to my little rant here. Even though this is coming out tomorrow, as I haven't edited it yet, I'm now going to go to bed and recharge for a bit. This has been fantastic, though. Thank you to everybody who has watched, who has supported, and I look forward to hearing more about Resident Evil 9.